Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to my welcome to my channel, the underrated darkness. Yours truth, the underrated one, the number one grinder. We welcome back our brother Shango. Um, and you see the title. We're gonna talk about the flags of different flags of homosexuality, and also he gonna go in deep of some of these flags too that we need to know. And so what we're gonna do, let me read this first. Um, so we will wait for some people to go in. I'm gonna add Brother Shango to unmute his mic in a few seconds. I just wanna read this out. Come and join real conversations with the underrated one, us as the righteous ones individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and genuine being there for each other. We all we got. Remember that. We all we got. Um, Let me do this first. Switch back. Right. Check things out first. Um, we're gonna tell brother Shango, unmute your mic, please.
Yo, peace, peace.
Thank you very much for showing up to the channel underrated doctors. We're gonna wait for some more people to come through before you get started. You
No
know,
doubt.
and but how you feel? How you been, brother?
And we've been good over here, just grinding, doing the thing. That's pretty much it.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I did a live earlier about
hmm
black man. It's not Go Professor. He did a live earlier talking about black man is not lazy, and he was reading what Frederick Douglass had to go through, and so I'm in that mode now that black man is not lazy. Black man, we never was lazy. Like I said, do we get in laps? Yeah, and some. I mean, certain days we not doing. Yes, but we never was lazy. But it seems like that in this world they had this narrative said that the black man is lazy. But when you have the time, I want you to go listen to it. It's inspiring and stuff like that. So no,
No
but
doubt.
yeah, I want you to go listen to it. I think he used you like that. But we're gonna wait for some
Check it
more
out.
people to come through in a few minutes. In a few minutes we're gonna get it going. But I will
hmm
say this: I want you to go support Brother Shango. He got great information for our people. He very diverse. I ain't gonna say he's a young brother, but he got a lot of knowledge, and he's very mature up in his age. I have to say, above his age, but we got to support brothers like him. We had to support brothers like him that are willing to give us the knowledge and stuff. And so, please, do yourself a favor. You're doing a disservice is not supporting the brother. Please do whatever you can. Support. Listen what he's talking about. Because these are timeless. What he's doing on his panel, I mean on his panel on his channel is timeless information that we need to know. And if you have kids up in age, I would advise parents, legal guardian, people in the street, aunts, uncles, you name it. You need to have these conversations often. Not gonna tell you, see the title, but we ain't gonna get into it till we see some people in the chat, and that's what we're gonna get it on and stuff like that. But it's very important that that we need to talk that we definitely need to talk about, because there are even incidents, and I want you to say something about this before we start, Shango, brother Shango. There are incidents that I know that these are people has really showed up in these spaces.
Yeah. You touched on some excellent stuff right there. If anybody is familiar with BGS channel, brother BGS More, go check it out.
Yes.
Um, when he used to do his Saturday hangouts, the Coliseum, he used to have a lot of interesting individuals pop up on there. You got a lot of debates, a lot of stuff, but you also had some weird niggas. And more than a few times, I've been on the panel twice when it happened. No, three
Mm.
times. You've had two brothers flash their Johnson on the panel for no reason and they got immediately blocked and banned. But the fact that they're doing this is odd. Then,
Hmm.
when he was having this attack by these white supremacist trolls, they were showing their butt, like all of it, and it was disgusting. And he had to block them and ban them. And they did it on my channel, my old one, because I was too stupid to not guard the link. That was back when Google Hangouts was a thing, and I
Yes.
was yeah, using Google Hangouts, and I stupidly left the link up, and they was just joining and kicking me off the panel, putting pornography on my joint, doing all types of
Mm.
crazy stuff. And that's just me and BGS. There's other brothers who have had this. There's brothers in the space who have been doxxed by dudes who are suspect. You got brothers who are in this space that get trolled and attacked online and whatnot by dudes that are suspects. So this ain't nothing new that underrated's talking about. You feel me? It ain't nothing new.
Nope. Sure ain't. And I know that there's brother Black Star. I was on his panel like I think it was like last week.
Hmm.
This Black Star Sports TV. It was a brother. It was a fact that flagged it. I'm not even gonna say it though, because you know what I'm talking about. He had to take the whole thing down, and
Mm,
it was a great conversation. He said, "I
mm.
gotta take it down, man. I gotta take it down."
Yeah,
He thought he was a brother. He came to the panel. You know what I mean? And oh, he got off. He come back, y'all. Anyway, good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Hold on, man. Brother, you keep on talking. I'll be right back. You keep on talking.
all right, no doubt, no doubt. So yeah, what the brother underrated is speaking to is real powerful, folks. Like you guys need to understand that it's not just about, oh, we hate people or we hate you because of your orientation, whatever. No, it's about people trying to encroach upon straight people. That's what it's about. And we're seeing it more and more with the rise of this transhumanist internet stuff. The brother nameless protagonist, everybody needs to sub to him and listen to what he got to say. He touched on that on my channel yesterday, I believe, or a couple days ago, when he was talking about this degendering, and Tariq Nasheed has talked about it as well. When you degender people and whatnot, you dehumanize them because now there's something of it. They can be treated more as an other or opposition force than if you see them as a normal person. And let's not forget the, homophile, as Irritated Genie said, the homophile is a very small population of not only American society, but the global society. So when you see these marches and all this stuff, they're really pandering to those people and blowing it out of proportion. And so we need to understand that that is a propaganda tool. And it lends credence to the argument and the point that I'm trying to drive, which is they are encroaching upon your territory. They're putting ads on television trying to get people to accept this. They're putting stuff in school where your children have to learn about sexual education at 2 or 3 and how to put a rubber on, that type of stuff. And they're showing them graphic, explicit stuff. They're teaching mandatory LGBT history in places like Chicago. Thank God I'm not in school. And I said this before when I came on the brother's channel last time. But this type of stuff is really, really necessary to understand. And you got to understand the context because you got people like Alfred Kinsey, Harvey Milk and the rest of these people that are attached to some pretty strange stuff. And we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. All right, we're gonna give it like, oh, it's 10 minutes. Okay, go ahead, brother. Go and get into it. The ones who just missed it, they just have to catch on the rewind. So let me
Yeah, no
introduce
problem.
myself again. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder. I brought, got back my brother Shango on this on here. We're talking on the Darkest Round Table, and he's going to talk about different flags of homosexuality, and also it's going to branch out to other conversations that's going to connect it. So you go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
I appreciate it. And welcome to anybody that's coming in. Welcome to anybody that's already been here. You feel me? Salute to y'all, man. Y'all are the future. But what we're talking about today is, like I said earlier, a much needed topic because we in the black community often take a kind of, I want to say, sideline approach where, oh, live, let live. And that's an okay and admirable thing, you feel me? If people are acting in an admirable fashion. But we don't see them doing that. Too often, we see these people taking advantage of your kindness and your tolerance and using it as leverage to push an agenda for you. That's why they're increasing this stuff in the school system. That's why they're increasing this stuff in social media. That's why you got people like, I don't want to get the brother flagged on this channel, but pretty influential YouTubers getting preferential treatment because of who they lay with in the bed. And they get away with a lot of crazy stuff because of what they identify sexually. So we're seeing all this stuff coming out from the past, what I want to say since the late 80s and 90s, and it's increasing incrementally. And like I said earlier, these people are a small population, so it's not really that big. What the real deal is, you have a lot of people who support it tacitly or actively, support this stuff, and they balloon the cause to a point where it's ridiculous. Like you're catering to a small, minute population in the country and around the world. And you're giving them all these rights, like the bathrooms back when that stuff was going on, the competing with women in sports, all this other stuff for the people who consider themselves transformers. And for those who don't know what that means, you should look it up. But it, it, we're seeing an unprecedented rise in this stuff. Like I said, the numbers are small, but we're seeing more and more people swell the ranks at an alarming rate. It's not fast enough to be, oh my God, they're going to overwhelm people. No, it's fast enough to where, hey, I noticed this, that type of thing. So one has to be ever mindful and ever vigilant. And part of that is identifying who is who. One part of that is looking at the flag. Now, I
Oh,
showed y'all on the last edition that I did with the brother Underrated about this stuff, the different flags and whatnot. I'm on the mobile, so sadly, I can't really show it, but I can tell you. So we have the standard LGBT flag, and you'll see it on a lot of people's Twitter channels. Excuse me, you'll see it on a lot of people's um, YouTube joints, Instagrams, whatever. You see them waving this rainbow flag. Now, those of us who are into indigenous black lore, whether you're a Hebrew or Muslim or whatever, and you know, just standard pro black or whatever, you know that the rainbow represents God's fortune, God's grace, and God's promise of fertility, abundance, all that stuff. They turned it into something else, and that's due to people like Harvey Milk, who came up after the Kinsey stuff. And for those who don't know, I'm talking about Alfred Kinsey. You guys need to check out a documentary called, I believe it's Kinsey's Pedophile. Don't quote me on that because I might be mixing up the titles of another one. But look at that documentary and you will see the foundations of not only the sexual revolution, but also the gay revolution or the feminist revolution, excuse me. Like I think it's third wave feminism. When you look at this stuff, it goes all the way back from 1948 all the way up until now. And like I said, you see this slow build up. So you get your 1948 stuff with the Kinsey, where he started recording pedophiles raping kids and all types of crazy stuff. Then it went to the beginning of the gay revolution with Harvey Milk and others like that. And then to the point where you had the gay march on Washington in the 90s. And a lot of people don't remember that, but it, it was very impactful. And if you read what they wanted, they laid out rather some clear things. One of them was to lower the age of consent, and that's what they're working on right now. California passed a bill recently which details that. I for the life of me can't remember the name of the bill, but Tariq Nasheed covered it, and some others covered it as well. I covered it on my channel in detail. But the bill pretty much says that if you are an LGBT person, the age of consent or statutory rape, that type of stuff is more lenient. So, in other words, it's a slow chipping away of the values, the morality, and the rights and whatnot. And that's a problem because it won't stop there. You feel me? It's not going to stop. And you have Joe Biden, who is the president elect, not the president, elected by the AP, the Associated Press, and the legacy media. He's detailing in his what do they call it? I can't remember what you call it. My bad, y'all. I'm kind of bad with terms sometimes. But he detailed in his piece that he plans to have strong LGBT support, strong transgender support, all this stuff. He's going to stop the ban on the military thing and
Hmm.
all these other things. Yeah, he's going to do some really left leaning type progressive LGBT things. And that should concern you
Right.
because,
And brother
go
Shango,
ahead, bro.
let me stop you one thing. I want you to go and also I want you to understand brother Shango is torn because he really gonna go into things that political that they really pushing it that we don't know. And also let me put this out. President elect say that when a child turns 8 years old, they have the right to change their sexes. I just want to put that out there. You go, keep on going, brother. I just want to put it in there.
No, you 100% right, bro. And that's dangerous. That's very dangerous because not only are you setting the child up for a life of confusion and turmoil, because we know that the majority of transgender people commit suicide, not because of external forces, but because of their own internal turmoil. Because really, if you look at these so called cases of transgender violence, the majority of them are between sex workers, the people in the sex industry, between tricks and the transgender escort. And a lot of times it's drug related or it's violence because the dude is crazy or whatever. But we also got to factor in that a lot of these people feel like they have the right to pursue straight men. So what they'll do is they'll try to pretend to be a woman and then, get the male to do certain things that like turn off the light or I'm gonna roll over. The transgender is gonna lay on their stomach, that type of stuff, and try to confuse the male or drug the male. Some of them outright drug dudes. Cardi B drugged some dudes with transgenders and then robbed them. You feel me? So it's not uncommon either, but it, it's crazy. What they'll do is they'll do all these little tricks and stuff. And when the dude finds out that it's a man, it shatters his worldview. It shatters his confidence. It shatters his masculinity and then he goes ballistic, rightfully so. Now, do you have to murder people? I don't know. I'm not going to call that judgment, but you should definitely seek recompense for that restitution because that is sexual assault. That is rape because you are intentionally deceiving someone with the purpose of getting a sexual activity out of them. Is that not rape? And we've seen numerous cases of that being the reason why they're dying, other than suicide. Now, in other countries, they do beat and kill people, but this is America. You feel me? That doesn't happen here. It happens because they try to trick people or some kind of drug thing or some kind of disagreement or it's suicide. So we need to keep that in your head. You know, don't let these people run this game on you. That's why you got to stay firm in your facts. And that's why I'm here to help y'all with what little I can remember. Because, like I said, with the mobile, I can't really pull up all the stuff. But these things are key. Somebody just died recently. a transgender was murdered by the dude that he, because that is a man, that he confused. And the dude is a Puerto Rican in Chicago, shot another Puerto Rican who's a transgender because he figured out that it was a transgender because a lot of things wasn't adding up. So he's doing a bid because of this. You feel me? And this is a problem because nobody wants to account for his needs, what he went through, because this person lied, you know? And that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of this argument. That's the whole point of this discussion is to understand that you as a person are being encroached upon. It's not your fault that you feel like you shouldn't cater to these people. It's not your fault. You shouldn't feel ashamed because they are trying to push things onto you. It's not about, and it never was about acceptance or rather tolerance. It was about acceptance. It was about participation. That's what it's always been about. Because whenever you see these individuals talk, it's always talk of, oh, you need to join us. You need to participate with us in our movements, join the marches, come to the rallies, do all this stuff. That's participation. That's not tolerance. That's going a step beyond into, I want you to become a member of what I'm doing. And anybody that knows that this work with, these activists, quote unquote, they know that eventually your card will be pulled and they will try to pull you into the lifestyle. Talk to anybody. I guarantee you're going to find that story. It's not unanimously, excuse me. I don't know why I couldn't say it. Unanimously, you will find that these individuals will try to pull you into the lifestyle and suck
Hmm.
you into that because they cannot reproduce naturally. So they need you to be a convert. It's like a
Okay.
religion to these people.
Got you. So let me read this comment before we continue. Thanks, Stephanie, to come back, and brother Art he paid homage to. He said peace to the fellow Leo and young scholar. Um, Magua these Cates, hero of the LGBTQA movement, was advanced under the Obama administration. That
Hmm.
is true. That is very true. You're
Yep.
absolutely right about that. Um, welcome back, WDWDN. Welcome back, Stephanie Dawes. You was in the chat before. Welcome back, Stephanie Dawes. Thank you so much. And let's touch on that before you, because after you touch on, I want you to go through the flags. And a matter of fact, before we get to that, where did they can find this information at, my brother?
Well, for one, with the Kinsey thing, you can find, like I said, a documentary on YouTube called Kinsey's Pedophiles. If they didn't take it down, unfortunately, they took down the 94, I believe it was 1994 March on Washington, Gay March, where they listed their
Mm-hmm.
demands, and the majority of the demands had been completed, except consent. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they took that down. You might be able to find it. Somebody might have saved it. I couldn't find it. For the other stuff, you can look at UNICEF and the WHO's, what do they call it? Outreach websites and whatnot, and you'll see when they talk about
Could,
sexual education,
what
they
could
talk
you
about.
could you post it in the chat or you can't?
At this time, I can't, but I'm
Okay,
gonna come
okay.
back. Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'll probably post it in the comment section if that's possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Cause
talking
I
about.
gotta, yeah, okay, yeah, I gotta assemble them links. There's a lot, so
Okay.
you know, yeah, you can find those there. You can find a lot of this stuff on YouTube if they haven't taken it down. I know you can find the Gay Manifesto that was written by some of these gay activists. You can find that online. Just type that in, and I'm trying to think of the other sources. You can also read Joe Biden's plan for what Underrated said about the 8-year-old. So
Okay. Matter of fact, now after we got the way, can you go in what you was telling me in the past, the flags, different flags for you to watch out for, and even the satanic that some of them had branch out to
hmm
other conversations, please.
yeah, real quick, if you could, Underrated, could you type in LGBT flag and like share it on your screen? I don't want to be a bother, but I can't really do it
Okay,
on my
hold on. That's what I'm doing now.
yeah,
Let's
and then
see.
I can
Okay. Um, LGBT.
Yeah, flags, because you don't want to get some stuff
Right.
on you. Yeah, you know,
Okay, hold on.
because they're on some weird crap. That,
Oh, hold on. Okay.
but yeah, folks, you can look this stuff up on your own. I encourage y'all to do your own research, so you don't take my word for it. Come to your own conclusion.
Well, they got one. Which one you want me to look for? They got different ones. A quick history of the gay pride flag. What is LGBT? The meaning of behind the rainbow flag.
Uh,
That's 2 years.
oh, go ahead.
And pride flags. What they all mean. But that's 15. That's like 15 minutes.
Is that a video or is that a image or
That's a
website?
video. That's a
Yeah,
video.
go to some images because the video would take a while. You know.
Or well, I go. Let me go to Google then. Okay.
Yeah. Might as well link some of them things you just saw to the chat if you can.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
so they
that.
know.
I'm gonna do that. Okay.
And my
Life.
apologies. I don't have the
No,
laptop
no,
right.
no, no. Sorry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. No worries. No worries. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I work with you. Let's see. And LGBT, they even got a Facebook page too, y'all.
Yeah, they got a bunch of groups on Discord, Facebook, Twitter.
Look at the So they even got one. Should they even got one in Virginia? And I know this one. Yeah, they got one in Hampton. They got one in Norfolk, Virginia. Y'all, a home.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. I seen it.
mm,
It was one of the young ladies I used to talk to. When I get off the bus at the walk past the block, they had a home with LGBT sign. Yup, I seen it. I was like,
mm.
wow, that close,
What?
fam. Right court, right, and check it out. Right court street from a park.
Oh, we gonna get into that. Gonna get into that.
Mm-hmm. I told you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got to get into that part.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm trying to find but it seemed like this. It seemed like they. Okay. Okay, you got rainbow flag.
Hmm.
All right. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, copy the kill. Okay. All right. What I'm gonna do, you keep on talking, bro. I'll let you know when I finish. I'm gonna post these in the chat. You keep on going. I want you to
All
tell
right,
us about different flags and also other stuff.
all right,
I'll let you know.
all right. No doubt. Yeah, I'll give a general description, or a general, what do you call it? At least the names. So you have the standard rainbow one that you've all seen, and like
But
many have
general,
said,
uh,
um, that's the. No, my bad. That kind of threw me off. That's the main house, so to speak. It's like with a dynasty, you have the main branch or the main line dynasty. You have cadet branches. So that one was formed, I believe, in the late '70s. That flag, the rainbow one, the one that we all know about. And it was taken, if I'm not mistaken, it was taken from the biblical concept of the rainbow as a slight to the Christians, because at the time the Christians were really, get the white Christians, let's get that clear. They were really getting into their white counterpart were LGBT. They were really getting into them, and rightfully so, because they passed laws that are not beneficial. But you got that mainline flag, and it standardly represents the majority of them. Now, all of them don't follow that because you
uh
have
huh.
different factions. Yeah, you got different factions of this stuff, and some of them follow the flag system, some don't, some self-identify. But with the mainline one, it's usually a term for what we know as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender.
Uh
And
huh.
gender fluid as well, I believe, and they're thinking about pedophilia, but you got people, kind of pushing back. And like I said, there's factions in it, and then you got zoophilia too, which is with the animal and other things of that nature. It's kind of a big umbrella house for all types of
Then you got
degeneracy.
zoophilia too. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what you often find is one person who flies that standard flag being connected to the other flag or other types of degenerate behaviors like zoophilia, for instance, bestiality, whatever. You got multiple actors in there or one person with multiple different tastes. You feel me? So that's an aspect to think of. Then you have the bisexual flag, which pretty much is self-explanatory. It talks about the people who swing both ways, which ironically, a lot of women, specifically black women in America, do indeed fall into that category, even though they don't use the flag. And you got some dudes out here like Will Smith and other people. No knocks to him. Well, knocks to him, but you got people like that out there doing their thing, and they represent a good chunk of the rainbow, the standard rainbow, because like I said, a lot of people are sympathizers and not necessarily active participants like official members, but they are sympathizers and do come to the rallies and all this stuff. And so a lot fall under that category, which is similar to one of the next flags, which is the pansexual one. Pansexual meaning they'll sleep in anything, chairs, cats, nigga, all types of crazy stuff. It depends on who you're talking to, but usually it means the same as bisexual. So it means the same as I'm dating a woman now, I'm dating a man, I'm dating a person who doesn't identify as either. It usually means that, but it can also mean the other weird fetishes. That's what they call them. And they call them kinks, I guess. You
Right.
got the people like objects, animals, kids, so a lot of that stuff is factored into that. And
Okay. People like yeah.
yeah, those are some of the most loose among them, which is saying something, you know. And a fun fact, a lot of people don't know this. Like I said, there's factions in this stuff, and a lot of them don't like each other, to be honest. They only come together when it so-called benefits them all, but a lot of them don't like each other. Like a lot of the gay men don't like the transgender men on both sides, whether female to male, which is where a female thinks she could turn into a man by cutting her breast off, taking testosterone and androgens and whatnot, and male to female, which is a
Hmm.
male that thinks he's going to become a woman because he gets breasts and mutilates his genitals or doesn't, you know. So these people don't like each other, and they often fight. And a lot of the feministic lesbians, like they call them TERFs or
Uh-huh.
trans exclusionary radical feminists. A lot of the feminist lesbian TERFs and whatnot don't like the transgender so-called women because they feel them as in direct competition and cheapening womanhood. So you got a lot of that going on. So one of the other flags that you'll recognize, which is the pink, light baby blue, and white flag, which is the
Uh-huh.
transgender flag, a lot of them don't really rock with the other ones. That's why you see Black Lives
Uh-huh.
Matter coming out with these things like, oh, we're trans affirming or we're queer affirming. These different words all mean the same thing at the core, but when you talk to them, they mean different things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mean the
I
same
don't know.
thing. Yeah. At the core.
Oh, you
Well,
want to say something, bro?
no, I was saying that I'm posting this stuff. It's like some of it is current, some of it's not. But I'm trying to look for some. I'm trying to look for some. But you keep on going, bro. Keep
Yeah,
on
no doubt.
going.
Okay, no doubt. I'm gonna post the links that I have too when I get to, the ability to do that in the chat, in the comment section. And I'm gonna try to give titles and whatnot. But yeah, this is really deep, man. And like I said, these are different facets of essentially the same thing, which is just a societal malaise or a societal degeneration in values and in proper conduct with, one another and oneself. And it manifests in different forms. So what they call kinks or fetishes are just these different forms of societal decay or social
Uh-huh.
decay. And so, like I said, you have those flags, then you got the lesbian flag. They got their own. Apparently, the gay, like the males, don't have their flag. I think they might, but oh, this is what they have. They have different flags for the gay men. They
Uh-huh.
have like what is called a bear, which is a big gay dude who is furry, so to speak, like you got a lot of hair on him or something. And you have the other ones, which is called a twink, which is a more effeminate defeat, like your Ganymede type from Greek mythology type person. And these individuals, kind of separate and delineate themselves based on that. And I don't want to gross people out by some of this stuff because this stuff is very disturbing. But uh, yeah, it goes into very specific roles that they play in you know
Uh-huh.
behind closed doors activity. So
Yeah.
yeah, it goes into that, and a lot of flags break down along those lines too, because at the core of this, it's about uh, pleasure or decadence. It's not really substantial about anything else but that.
Mm-hmm.
They base their whole existence off of this stuff. And so you will see these flags like the standard rainbow flag, the transgender flag. You'll see them flying it proudly on their pages or in public because that's really all that they are. They have nothing else to offer the world. That's pretty much the sole focus of their life. And you find that with a lot of leftist type people too, that whatever mission they champion, whatever cause or ideology they champion, that is them totally. Like the whole of them is that thing. So you'll see these flags being thrown proudly. Then you got the other one that the Black Lives Matter people be using, which is like the modification on the South African flag. So it's got the trans flag in it. It's got the non-binary flag, which is black, I believe. Think of
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, it's got some black elements to it. Not like black people, but the color black. And it's got the standard gay, and it represents uh, queer people of color, so to speak. And you already know that term people of color is some BS, and you already know about queer, which pretty much is a stand in for gay. So it highlights them supposedly and the
Uh-huh.
regular, which is the bulk. Keep in
Yeah.
mind, folks, the bulk of this movement, the bulk of the homophile stuff is white people. And, like whites and Asians and stuff like it ain't really Negroes doing this. Now, we're seeing rises in it, but it's not really people of our kin doing it. They want it to be us, but it's not them. And what other flags? You got the lesbian flag. I want to get back to the flags. You got the lesbian flag, which self-explanatory, talks about women who rub tacos together, pretty much. So that type of stuff. And they have. I'm trying to think of it. They have the gender fluid, like I said, which gender fluid pretty much means uh, they could be a male or a female at any given point, or both, or none. You know,
Flags of
it,
homosexuality.
yeah, it's weird. It's really weird and it's odd that they feel like they can go up and down on this roller coaster. And then you got the people who identify as none of them, which also goes into the gender fluid aspect, which they say, oh, there's a million different sexual.
Flags
I
of
yeah,
homosexuality.
yeah, there's a million different. Oh, you watching the video? Okay, yeah, there's a million different ways of orientation that they try to say, which doesn't make sense because in nature you only see three at most: males, females, and hermaphrodites. That's the only thing you see. And human beings are not functional hermaphrodites. So you can only be a male or a female. Feel me? And with the Keynesian doctrine, which ties
Uh-huh.
into the different flags and breakdowns rather, the reason why people identify with all this stuff is because with Kinsey, Alfred Kinsey, they separated and began to separate sex, like your physical working parts, with gender. And when you did that, that allowed you to develop this array of dissociative issues where oh, I feel like this right now because I have other underlying mental illnesses and I'm not addressing them. So I'm going
Uh-huh.
to mask them and, cloak them in this all inclusive agenda because, like I said, they need every man, they need every woman because they can't reproduce. So they just take in all, no offense to people, but they take in all the gutter trash and repurpose them into soldiers. That's why there's some of the ardent, die-hard people. That's why they're wanting to fight people in the street like Antifa and whatnot, because
Uh-huh.
this is their family. This is their religion. And the flags represent different sects. not sex, sects,
Uh-huh.
sects of religion.
Different sex. Right, not exactly. Sex, SEC.
I think I pretty much covered all the flags because a lot of them are redundant, you know.
Uh, well, I did find some
Hmm.
that did say some of it is LGBT symbols.
Okay. If you could throw that up there, that would be nice.
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah.
We could break that down too.
I'm gonna post that right. Just give me some chance. Um,
Hmm.
I just posted in the chat, but I'm gonna go back um
Okay.
and read it. I think this is familiar. Um,
Hmm.
let's see. Let me tell you something. Because
The real
sometimes
thing. Oh, go ahead.
no, sometimes when they pull it up, they take it down quick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yep. Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to pull it right now. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
make
not
sure you guys check this stuff out like ASAP and get educated on this stuff because they do take this stuff down and censor
quick.
or like yeah, they try to block you from knowing it because it exposes their hand, you feel me? And to those who might say, "Oh, well you're just harping on it because you hate them or you're secretly one of them or whatever the lies that you tell." That's not true. People are observing a phenomenon. Is that not a scientific evaluation or response? Are you not supposed to do that? Like if something's happening in the woods and I just ignore it, you really think that's beneficial? It's not. Like we are trying to do an examination of this stuff. And what we find oftentimes is they don't want to be exposed. So they don't want you looking into what they're doing. They don't want you questioning them. Because as soon as you do, the rug gets pulled out and you see all the roaches scattering. You know what I mean? So keep in mind, don't let them shame you with that. Don't even listen to that because it's garbage. It's the same thing white supremacists do when they be saying Africans never invented the wheel. That type of crap. Don't listen to that. It's time wasting.
I just pulled up. I'm trying to share this, but I don't know. They gonna let me this because you got pansexual pride flag, annual sexual pride flag. Then you got the regular LGBT. You got intersex flag. You remember you said about the bear flag?
Yeah, I talked about that.
You talk about bear flag. They got leather pride flag.
Oh yeah, I got to break intersex and leather pride. Okay, leather pride is tied into BDSM. For those who don't know, that's the domination, submission type stuff. And people will argue it's not connected to sadism, but I would disagree. You have a lot of people that blur the lines between those things. And sadism comes from a French nobleman named Marquis de Sade. Look up his story. It's insane what he did. He pretty
Yeah,
much he represents a lot of what we see today. But
yeah,
to go into the intersex person is somebody who is not a functional hermaphrodite. In other words, they have either fused genitals, they have like it's a dude or it's a woman. See, you can't even call it a woman or a man. It's a person, a being that has the vaginal canal, but in the place of ovaries, they have testes because, so they're effectively a dude with no, phallus. So it's interesting the different combinations, but the crux of it is this that they're all medical abnormalities and deformities. Now, that might be offensive to some of them, but the truth is what it is. You wouldn't call flat feet a normal thing. And I have that. That is a deformity. All right. That is a genetic problem with the coding between the DNA. That's a problem with the transcribing of DNA that caused a mishap that created that when the baby came out. And then you have other factors too, like too much estrogen that creates these weird pathologies which lead to
did that when the
homosexuality.
baby came out. Right.
So
Also,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead, brother.
Also, I'm gonna post a transgender flag.
Oh boy, those are some of the worst. Now those are some of the worst because, like I said, especially with dudes, a lot of them. like to they actually have a game with this. It's the I don't know what it's called, but I don't think it really has a name, but it's essentially trying to convert straight men. That's their game. So just like women try to convert gay dudes try to convert straight dudes. So that's a game that the transgenders have, and those who follow in that category or act similar. They literally go out and pursue straight dudes that they know are straight and
Mm-hmm.
try to get them to convert. That's sexual harassment, as I said earlier, and that
Mm-hmm.
needs to be talked about because we as men, especially heterosexual men, get attacked for sexual harassment and Me Too type stuff. And a lot of times we didn't do nothing. But you got people that are literally sexually assaulting people and they get away with it because they're politically correct. You know, that's not fair. That's not right.
And let
And
me
that,
tell you, and
yeah,
let me cut you. Let me tell you
no, you good.
what the
You
brothers
good.
talking about. Got the pride flag, you got the transgender flags, you even got lesbian flags, you got the labor flags, you got pink triangle flags, you got lipstick lesbian flags, and you got slogans. And the brother, what he talking, he's not even talking, not even one third. And I put, if I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm right or wrong, brother. You told me there's hundreds of flags.
Yeah, there's hundreds and they're making more every day. Like because like I said, it's based off of personal
Mm-mm-mm.
stuff. So whatever that person feels, they can make a flag and they might get other people that join up with it. And then now
Mm-hmm.
you have a officially recognized flag. There's a ton of unofficial flags, symbols, all this stuff that these people be using, and it just gets to the point where you can't even count how many there are. It's like, and how many sexualities and all this stuff. It's like, yo, what the hell? Like, wow. I had the unfortunate pleasure of interviewing some of these people because I'm curious about. I want to get to the bottom of why you guys do the things that you do. I should have been a psychologist, bro. But
So
I'm
you should have, man.
fascinated. Yeah, bro, I'm fascinated in why they think the way they think and why they do the way that do the things that they do. So I interviewed a couple, and some of them don't even agree with the whole concept of the flag,
Yeah.
the pride flag. Yeah, so it's fascinating, bro.
You keep on continuing because this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna post. This is 13 different types of LGBTQ symbols and flags.
Okay,
I'm gonna post that right now. Okay, you keep on talking, brother.
yeah. Um, where to begin, man? Where to
Wherever
continue,
you can
rather?
begin.
Yeah. So y'all got to check out them links, man, because you really need to be abreast of the issue because a lot of these people are showing up on your school boards, they're showing up as your doctors, your nurses, in the same vein as the white supremacists that infiltrated law enforcement and organizations like the alphabets. Not the alphabet people, but the alphabet governments organization. So they're doing the same thing, man, and they got big money behind them. They got people like Soros. They got people like the Rockefellers who funded Kinsey's work in the 40s. You got people like uh, the Human Rights Commission. I think that's what they call it. I think that's it. The HRC is. I know the acronym is HRC, but you got people like that that are putting millions upon millions of dollars into this stuff. And you got 500 LGBT politicians. BGS talked about this a minute ago, and that's just the start of this stuff. So the point is to keep yourself abreast of these issues. If you don't want your child to be indoctrinated, whether through intersectionality, which is another facet of this, and you guys should know about that. But if you don't want your child to be indoctrinated through that, you need to have them in an alternative school. And I know people don't like people like Umar, but that type of stuff is needed. I'm not saying that you have to go to his specific school, but that type of stuff needs to be supported. Like you got to put your money where the mouth is, where your mouth is, rather. You have got to understand that your child is being steadily indoctrinated and fed poison in these school systems for 8 hours a day. That's problematic. That's very problematic. And a lot of parents don't care enough about their children or their children's future to recognize the stuff. So when your son comes home talking about he has a boyfriend, you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Because you weren't paying attention.
Yeah. And understand this go more your point, brother. I want you to continue. They are pushing these all the stuff, and you can go ahead, bro, start posting that, and they pushing this in our schools, in our community.
Yeah, they sure are. They definitely are. Like what you see, I'll give you another example, a real world example. There's this drink, soft drink commercial, and there's also the vodka commercial. They got what's his name? What's that dude's name? Laverne Cox dancing on the thing like this is normal on a national television ad. You feel me? One reason why you shouldn't watch cable news, but they got stuff like that floating around. They got two men kissing on the thing, man, and like on BET commercials. And it's like, yo, and they got AIDS commercials on BET. I've seen a couple because unfortunately some of my relatives watch that garbage. So, not the LGBT stuff, but the BET television station.
See, yeah.
And it's like, yo, what's going on? And like I said, in Chicago, man, it's mandatory. You can't get out of it. There's no way you could literally get out of learning LGBT history in grammar school and in high school and in college. Because if you go to college and you go to psychology, like you try to become a psychology major, you're going to have to learn about LGBT stuff. And that's part of the reason why I stopped being that because I stopped going to college because of that, because it's like everywhere, bro. And you have to take it. It's mandatory. One way or another, they're going to, excuse me, one way or another, they're going to sneak it in. I want to be clear when I say it.
Mm-hmm.
One way or another, they're going to sneak it in. So you got to be abreast of this stuff and be like, nah, I ain't going to co-sign this.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, they made me pay like 1,000. No, how much was that class? No, it wasn't 1,000. Like 500, I think, for a class about psychology. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna learn about niche and all this stuff. Nope, I'm gonna learn about booty people. I'm like, nope, I had to get up out of here, nigga. And it's sickening, man. It's real sickening.
Yeah. So also, I want to ask you a question before we continuing, right?
Hmm.
Um, I can say for me first, then I'm gonna put your input in it. I know throughout the years, I know some gay, lesbians, and stuff like that, and so at
Yeah.
that time they wasn't really pushing it. They had some flags here and there, but it was really like local legislation. Now it's all blow up right now. It's happening throughout the world. So I say for me that there are people that there are women that I used to talk to. I tell you the
Hmm.
story of Shango anyway, offline. But anyway, I would tell the people what happened was what I was seeing some lesbian and gay guys. So I tell the woman, I said, we together, right? I said, yeah. You got to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because they are doing contrary what we supposed to be all about.
Mm.
And so it was at so families. It was at times I had to let that go. Now there are some people said, you just why they just people too. But like the go professor, brother go professor talk about it's all about the behavior. And the
Mm.
sad thing about it, the behavior, when you put the behavior of a lifestyle with it, if anybody that believes in God, you know what I'm saying. When you believe in God's creation, God created man and women together. God did not create man and man together, woman together. Now, there's gonna be people going to say, "But look, you got to understand what's going on. They need help." That is true, but there are actually people out there that's not happening to them, and they just go on and push their beliefs on people that don't like to be around it. And I'm not saying that, oh, what you doing is wrong, whatever it is. I can't say. I can say it's wrong and everything, but I'll say this: when you force it on other people, that is sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Okay? When you have companies out here that are making women's costumes to trick a man That is sexual harassment. That you impose on somebody be thinking that you one way, come to find out you another way. That is wrong. And so what Brother Shango is talking about, he really I know he gonna got some more stuff to talk about. But when they really put you this is I tell parents out there, this what you really need to sit down with your kids for. This is the time that you got the us as grown-ups, we need to have these conversations a lot because right now they are discovering a new flag right this minute. They are pushing a new movement. All that they were homosexuality. And trust and believe it's in politics right now deeply. There are some
Hmm.
countries, there are some countries, they are running this. You go ahead, bro.
No, you speaking 100% facts, and I think you touched on something real key with. Hold on, my dog just came in. You, you're talking on something real key with the women. It's like for too long you had too many sisters and women in general supporting this nonsense, and now they feel emboldened. And what's funny is a lot of the dudes, especially the transgenders, pretend to be black women in a mocking way. And it's funny as hell that you guys supported them. Not all, but enough. You guys supported them. And now they're turning around, spitting in your face pretty much. And this is some ish that really needs to be addressed, man. Because like the brother underrated said, you had chicks that refused to give up their gay friends for their man. Like what? Do you want to be with your gay friend, or do you want to be with this straight man that's you laying in the bed with every night and you cooking
Hmm.
for? Like, where do your interests lie? Do you want a family? And the answer is no, they don't. They've been too
Yeah.
brainwashed by yeah, they've been too brainwashed by this intersectional feminist type stuff, and it's led them down this path. They don't know where they're going. It's
Yeah.
sad.
And it's even vice versa too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got a lot of Andrew Gillums out here.
That's right. And people say, who's Andrew Good? That Andrew Good got caught up with a booty boy.
Hmm.
Married. Was winning in the race. He could have been a center right now. No doubt about it in Georgia. But he got caught up with a white booty boy.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
So so he had to come out. What do you say? He homosexual? What you call that?
He says he's bisexual,
All
but
right, well,
I
whatever,
think he's
man.
homosexual.
Yeah, he's
Just
homo.
regular.
Yeah, he's homosexual. He's like he no bi, man. He no bi. But
Yeah,
see, this is the thing you talking about, and he's married.
allegedly, yeah. That's his
Alleged, right?
beard,
You
but
right.
yeah.
You right. Allegedly, yeah, you right. Exactly. I need to throw that in. Allegedly. So, man, you have these talks, even if it feels uncomfortable. So I'm saying, black man or black woman, if you are heterosexual, we are under attack. Or I'm just saying, if you all about reproducing, if you all about having a healthy man and women's relationship that goes with it, if you have family members or your friends or whatever, if they practice in these behaviors, you got to make a decision.
Hmm.
Because if you say it's okay, if you're socializing in these behaviors, knowing deep down inside is wrong, that means you part of it.
Yep.
And so, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that means you're part of it, and that means you support what they're doing because you can love your family member who's a booty bandit or a lesbian or whatever, or even a whore. You're like a hoe type chick. You can love them from afar. You don't need to be buddy buddy with them all the time and hang out with them because they're gonna take you to some places that you don't want to go because that's their identity, that's their lifestyle.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it ties into a lot of stuff with your kids too. Don't leave your kids around Uncle Buddy. You feel me? That's how a lot of people, which we don't talk about, got molested in the community.
Mm-hmm.
because of
Yeah.
negligence. Yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly. And also black women. And I think we need to talk more about this too. Stop leaving your kids around your best friend. And I'm talking
Yep.
about women. Stop it.
Stop it.
Goes for girls too. Yes, don't leave around girls, but especially boys in these days. Stop it because they are playing on this.
Hmm.
There's a lot more boys is getting molested by women. A lot of them is unreported. But trust and believe, most of the time I mean the time they get molested.
Yep.
And they look just like you. They dress like you. They not gonna put on the makeup like they do. They not gonna do none of that. They look just like you. Watch out for the signs. What the sign is if she taking him, if you have a young son, if she only came on there just chill with you, that's well and good. If she always just want to take your son to get some candy, or she said I put him to bed, if she's willing to put him back, or she sit him in his lap, sitting in her lap, or if she go in there, I lay down with him, make sure it's all right. I give him medicine. No, those are the signs you need to watch out for. She told me, "Oh yeah, I give him a bath." No, you're not.
Yeah. No, that's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. And you know if they do it with her, even watch out for your young girls too. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. But watch out for the, especially watch out for the boys. I'm telling y'all. Underrated will not steer you wrong. Brother Shank will not we not steering you wrong. You gotta look out for those signs. Don't think oh ain't hardly no women pedophiles. Oh yeah, it's a whole lot. Look at the sexuals, listen to the sex trafficking. Some of them is run by women.
Yep. They call them madams, I think, like a brothel type
Right.
shit. Yeah.
Not you know, I'm saying not taking away the men. Men are purified too. Yes, we mentioning them too. But these women, you got quite a few women purified too. I'm
Hmm.
telling y'all, you better listen. You better listen what Brother Shango talking about. Y'all better listen very carefully.
Yeah. That's 100. And it ties into the NAMBLA thing for those who know the National Man Boy Lovers Association type shit. It ties into that because what a lot of the homophiles will try to do is they'll try to say, oh, well, it isn't connected to pedophilia, what we're doing. Bullshit. The fact that you're teaching kids about sex when they don't need to know none of that, they need to be worried about racing cars and arithmetic and all that shit. You're teaching kids about sex. That in itself is pedophilia in and of itself. Then we got the other stuff where you got transgenders and drag queens doing strip tease shows with monopoly money in the library and stuff. You feel me? That's pedophilia. Then keep going. The some of these weird LGBT programs like on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, all this weird shit. Where
Yes.
yeah, that's also child sexual assault because you're
Hmm.
assaulting their mind. You feel me? With the
Hmm.
character that they like. And a lot of kids don't even like the shit because it's trash. It's poorly written and it's just about agenda. So they don't even watch the movies. They're not interested because it's garbage and it's obviously propaganda. So all this stuff ties into the sexual assault. And then if you want to go historically, what do you think was happening with pedastry in Greece and Rome? Nigga, they were going after young boys. It's not old men,
Hmm.
Yeah, you had old men getting together, but it was mostly young men. That's why they prized this quote unquote young teenage male in them societies and whatnot. It was about some bussy shit, bro. I'm telling you, like, y'all need to get hip to this information. Underrated speaking some truth. A lot of kids have been touched, and that's why a lot of them be trans and gay because it was molested. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and the food we eat too has a big part of this. A lot of estrogen is being fed to boys, so that makes them weird. That makes their frontal lobe impaired, and now they have all this estrogen running around in their system, so they feel feminine. And the niggas start getting hits, bro. Pause, no homo. I'm gonna say this one now. I was walking down the street trying to get to a recording place where I was, chopping it up with some rappers and whatnot. This dude, what I thought was a chick, was walking around sashaying, and this dude was built like a woman. I swear to God. I put my hand. I said, "Damn, who she is?" Motherfucker turned around, had a whole beard. I'm like, "No, get this nigga out of here. Execute this nigga." Because this nigga is like, he was wearing women's clothes too. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Uh-huh.
And then they clown the fuck out of me though. Rightfully so, because that's some moist shit. But it's like, dude, they got dudes out here that you would never know that was bussy niggas, or you got dudes that are supposed to be regular dudes, but they've been feminized by this society, by being around women, all this stuff. And some of these motherfuckers even look like females. I just
Yes.
recorded this one nigga who was doing a song with another dude. I heard the voice on the rap. I said, "Is that a bitch? Is that a lesbian?" And he said, "No, that's a dude." He showed me the picture. That dude looked gay. Like, and he apparently he's not gay. I don't believe it, but he sound and look like a woman. This light skinned young brother. I'm like, yo, and he hang out with one of these dudes that's famous. Come to
Mm-hmm.
find out, the dudes that's famous, his brother is a non-binary dude. So
Mm.
his brother's gay. Yeah, bro, this stuff is deep, man. You gotta watch who you hanging with, man. For real.
So I'm saying, if you're a heterosexual black man or black woman, I'm saying, look, I'm just saying they could be all good, but look at, like, if they said, let's go hang out, I want to introduce your friends, you probably said, nah, 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 no, embrace that. Yeah, you want to see and,
Yeah.
and and just observe, and you ask questions. Yeah, you be with them and all that. Well, you know that they not okay. You know what we do, right? You gotta ask questions, and then if he or she take their own time and answer it, there goes your answer right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
No.
facts, man. Like, you gotta ask questions. You're 100% right, brother. You have a right as a person to live the life live the life the way that you want to live. Excuse me. And
Yeah.
they say that shit about them, like, "Oh, you guys are oppressive to us," which is bullshit. Ain't nobody bothering you, but you get to say that, but we can't say it. You feel like what? We can't live the way we want to live, but you can do it just because you're gay. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
major hypocrisy.
Yes, it is. And so, do you ready? Are you willing to take questions?
Yeah, because
Okay.
we pretty much broke it down.
Yeah. Okay. No doubt. Yeah. Anybody that wanna ask questions, put the questions in the chat, and
Hmm.
brother Shango will answer it. Okay.
Yep. Even
But
people who disagree too.
yeah, disagree, and also be respectful.
Yep.
Please be respectful. Okay, that's all I'm at. Be respectful, because if not, I'm gonna ask you nicely. I'm gonna ask you to leave. Be respectful. But yeah.
Hmm.
Let me read these comments. Let me put this in first, and then while we waiting, brother Shango, oh, read. Okay, put this in again. Anybody that wants to donate, my cash app is dollar sign JT 53000. Also, I have PayPal account is JT Black 53, all in caps, JT Black 53. I hope I pronounced the name. It says Muwa these cakes. Said lazy mother, let anybody take the kids, yeah. And also she said, the streets take care of the kids. Come on. Also, she said drag queens story time is allowing children to cross dress. That is very true, because I want to touch on that, because Virginia was one of the first place few years ago let drag queens read to the kids.
Yeah.
Also, Yeah. Also, same person said, I saw a man with a butt implant. They have fun with plastic surgery. Facts. Everything he says facts. Go, Professor. Thank you. I think Go Professor. He said explain bloodonary. Let me say it's Binary.
Binary.
Binary. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you want to keep reading them, or do you want me to go into that real quick?
You can go with that. No.
All right. Binary is what they call. Well, the term binary means you have two opposite ends. In the case of uh, sexuality, you have male and female, right? With these people who are intersectionalists and whatnot, they believe that gender is not a binary. So they believe that you can have not just two genders, but multiple and anywhere in between those things or outside of them. They believe that because binary means two, system of two. Like you have binary stars with two stars swirl around each other, two people. That's binary. Bi is two. So these individuals who tout this critical race theory type shit, this intersectionality type shit, this LGBT feministic stuff, these people tout that you can have more than one gender or more than two genders. And that's simply false. It's not backed up by any physiological evidence. It's all backed up by feeling and emotion. And so when you hear somebody say that, automatically count them as one of them leftist, liberal, crazy people and disengage if you can. Just get away from them. Don't even talk to them because they will not be able to be talked to. You can't reason with these people. As soon as you say something contrary to what they believe, they'll attack you, sometimes physically. So, just stay away from that. Like, have y'all seen the It's Ma'am video
I
with the
don't think
game
so.
stuff? Yeah, look that up. That's funny as hell, but look it up. It's this white dude that is clearly a man that has just begun, quote unquote, transitioning, which is oxymoronic, but he's a swole Marine type dude. Well, he ain't that swole, but he's a Marine type dude. And he's walking around in a blonde wig and flip flops. And the GameStop employee instinctively, because his voice is deep and he looks like a man, called him sir. And he kept doing it because instinctively he sees that as a man. And this is a young white dude that's calling him that. So the dude starts getting increasingly upset. It's male. And starts throwing shit around the store and having a temper tantrum. And then he's going to say, I'm going to press charges against you for discriminating and misgendering, which nobody can tell that you're a woman, even by your clothes, because you're fucking a man. You are a goddamn man. You have a deep voice and you're big. This dude is twice the size of this small GameStop worker talking about its man. That's the binary. My bad.
That's all right. Um, this is great information here. And also WD brother WDN. Let me see. Let me find it. He says that it's hard to tell here in Atlanta. Now we heard about Atlanta too. Yes, we did. You right. You right. A lot of people told me about Atlanta. I can't imagine what you're going through, bro. You
Yeah,
know.
Atlanta and DC.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and don't sleep on certain parts of Virginia too. It's growing too. I'm not saying it ain't out there. It been out there, but it's growing. Oh yes. VA. Oh, VA is a Commonwealth. They conservative, right? Huh, I'm telling you. And then, but see, and most of these flags is it had nothing to do. Like people said that it's conservative, um, all of that and everything. But majority of the policies come from liberal for years. Is it safe to say that, Brother Shango?
Yeah, I would say it is for the most part. But we've seen a disturbing trend of so-called Republicans and conservatives and others not pushing back as hard as they should be. against this stuff. And you've seen the disturbing trend of so-called liberals co-signing this stuff. So I
Okay.
think it's on both sides, but the
Both
people are
sides.
mostly, yeah, the people are mostly writing it are the liberals and pushing it.
Okay. And also, let me see. We read Black Star Sports Team. Welcome, brother. Um, Atlanta is a LGBT capital of black people and DC as well. Yeah, facts. Oh, Go Professor said, what's the name of that show again? Brother Shango?
Oh yeah, you said what?
Oh, Go Professor said, what's the name of that show again?
I don't know what show you're talking about.
He said the show. What's the name of that show
Oh,
again?
um, I think it's Kinsey's pedophile. I covered it on my channel with the siphoning out the poison series, as I mentioned when I did this first stream with underrated.
Uh-huh.
And you can look it up on YouTube. Just type in Alfred Kinsey, and you should find it. The longest one should be the one. Like I think it's an hour, 2 hours, something like that. You should watch it, and it's gonna lead you down a rabbit hole too with other stuff. Like I didn't even know about this other one. You had this dude that did a self documentary, I think, who was a pedophile, a gay pedophile, and he was documenting how he would pick up young boys and all this shit. It didn't go into graphic detail to my knowledge, but
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, I'm eating some candy, but
That's all right.
yes, ginger.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
but
Let me read these. Anybody that has questions, let me know. And also anybody that is traveling to safe to your destination or or back to your house, please let us know. Keep us posted so we can make sure that you get home safely or safe to your destination safely. Please let us know in the chat. Go first. Alfred Kimsley.
Alfred Kinsey,
Kinsey.
Kinsey.
I spell the last one again.
Yeah, no problem. Kinsey.
It's not a Z. Go for it's S. Cause he
Yeah.
said yeah. Again, if anybody that wants to donate, is my cash app is dollar sign capital JT 53000. Also, I have PayPal account. That's all in cap. Is JT Black 53. The shadow assassin. Welcome, bro. That's my LDBC, brother. That stands for Lions Den Boxing Community. Thank you for showing up. What's going on, fam? I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder. My brother, I got my brother Shango in here. He break it down different flags of homosexuality. Now, I want while we wait for some more questions, in the chat, put if you have any questions, put it in the chat right now so I can ask them. I want you to break down of certain flags go into satanic, animal sex, devil sex, and all that, please.
Okay. Well, we all know that running up a dude running up in another dude is devil shit already. That
Right.
shit ain't natural, and it don't make no sense from a biological standpoint. But you have certain groups that get down like that. One of them, I don't. They might have a flag. They're called the furries, and a lot of them will say that they are not bestiality practitioners, but a lot of them are, and a lot of them support other people who practice bestiality.
Mm-hmm.
And look up the furries and look at that stuff. They dress up as animals. They draw a lot of cartoon pornography with
Mm-hmm.
anthropomorphic animals and cartoons and shit like that. That type of stuff. Some of them get weird into the psychology. They call them therianthropes. I think that's what you call them, where they
Mhm.
believe that they're an animal or like they have an animal spirit in a human body. That type of crazy psychology shit. But those are one group of people that practice tr- just disgusting,
Right.
barbaric practice. There was
Hmm.
one that's from Cuba that raped and recorded and then murdered over what 30 dogs, and they finally caught him. And I think they're giving him life in prison. I don't know. Cuba doesn't really have laws against these weirdos, but that's just one guy. You have other dudes, like I said, because a lot of them practice multiple different sexual kinks or fetishes. You got another dude, his name is Snake Thing, and look that up. He was trying to groom his nephew, who was an infant, into
Oh.
being his pedophile, sexual
Oh.
toy. And then he was also encouraging and raping puppies, encouraging people like his friends to rape puppies and then kill them, and then talking about it like that. And if you read his text, and you find this with a lot of the LGBT, a lot of them use this weird kitty baby language. Like they be saying things like ooh woo and yas and kawaii, is that's the Japanese word for cute. They be doing these little symbols and shit to act like they're preteens or little kids. It's some really weird shit. And a lot of them talk like this. Even the ones that don't necessarily engage in the demonic stuff, they all talk like that. So it's just kind of odd. It's something to note. But for the demonic aspect, a lot of the people who practice Satanism and are in the Church of Satan are LGBT. And a lot of them are mainline, like with the rainbow flag, the regular. Some of them are trans and other stuff, but the majority, from what I've seen, are the regular LGBT, and they fly that regular flag. So pay attention when you look at people, social media and shit. Pay attention what flags they got on their screen, you know, because a lot of this stuff ties in together, and I guess they tied through this intersectional philosophy where all these different issues and ideologies can coexist, and they make space for one another. And so when you talk about devil worship and rape of children and animals and stuff, a lot of it crosses the different factions or the different flags. So you'll see one guy who's into raping puppies have the regular LGBT flag, but also the trans because it's actually a woman that thinks it's a man. You feel me? Or, for instance, you'll see a dude who's into Satanism and he has the regular rainbow flag and then the bear because he's a big gay dude. You know what I mean? So shit like that. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, Stephanie, the comment that you put, I don't think I can go that much up. You got to put that comment in again, please, because I'm trying to look for it, and I don't think it will let me go up further. I'm trying to find the comment, Stephanie. So you might have to put it back in the chat, and I'd be more than happy to say about the comment and stuff. Oh yeah, let me see. Black Star says Joe Biden says LGBT is his top priority. That is so you are absolutely right, brother. He sure did said it. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did say that.
So all those who voted for Joe Biden, that's what you're gonna get if he gets in.
Okay, the satin assassin said, "Don't call them Transformers. I call them Godbots. Knock on Transform." Oh, that's a yeah. Black Star, yeah. Says thanks about that. Justin Bieber track Yummies and his Instagram link to that. Oh boy, yeah, you gotta watch out for them, man. I'm trying to tell people, man. Stephanie, you got if you hear, please put the comment back, please. So I want to think. Well, I could say this that you got to be real careful, and then that and parents, you this is the time that you got to be a strong parent. So that means that I know there are some people say, "Oh, I don't invade my children because up in age they need independence." No, you need to invade their privacy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying in a constructive way. You need to check their friends. You need to check their computer because they not really put it like in broad daylight. They are putting a late night that make sure that you sleep. They don't put
Yeah,
satanic stuff like that, like the broad daylight no more because they know they could be shown. They are doing it broad daylight, and they are putting this now right now in cartoons,
yeah, they sure are.
in stories, late at
Hmm.
night.
Another thing too, parents really gotta nip this porn shit in the bud. Like, you need to teach your child proper, healthy sexual habits. Don't shy away from doing it. You gotta be the one that does it. Don't let the school do it, or don't let the internet teach them about sex, because then they're going to get into some crazy, really crazy shit. And that's another reason why a lot of these kids are turning into this stuff, turning into these weird recluse incel types. And then some of the incels feel like they ain't gonna get no play anyway, so they just turn into women or fake women. And you get that, with the bussy stuff starts happening. So you guys got to watch your kids. Underrated is 100% right.
I'm trying to look for this, Stephanie. But I'm saying if you put it up there like a minute ago, sometimes the chat goes so fast it might not let me um to look for that's what I'm saying. You have to put it right now. Put it right in right now. So I will get it because I'm looking for it right now. Ooh, see, she says right under. You said it's right under Stephanie about a minute ago. Trying to look for. And yeah, so but this is very important, y'all. Y'all need to listen to this because it's happening. So that means like if you have like a teacher or also watch out to them chaperones too. They say to your kids, "Oh, I'm going out. Oh, there's a chaperone. Go. Oh no, you better check them out." Talking about they want to get some burgers and they want to get some burgers and franks. Oh, they get some burgers and some franks, all right, in somebody else's house and hold them captive.
Yeah, that's facts. Look at Eddie Long. He was so called mentoring those boys. Yeah, mentoring them, all right.
Okay. Oh, there it is. I found it. I said Stephanie that says Nabila is backdoor its way into the bill.
She's saying Nambla
You're
has
right,
a back door.
Nambala.
Yeah.
Right, right.
They're using these LGBT laws and shit and policies to push this pedophilia.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So I
agree with
got it. Okay. I got it. So you agree on that?
it. Yeah, because like I said, if you look up the gay march on Washington, I think it was either 93 or 94. One of their things was lowering the age of consent. What is that? Pedophilia.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at Alfred Kinsey, he's where we get this doctrine that we see in these gender studies classes and in these universities and shit, where they say children are born sexual beings, that type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff, which is erroneous. But they use that as justification to say, oh, well, I'm just minor attracted. Look out for that too. It's called MAP, minor attracted person. That's just the rebranding of pedophilia. And what you'll see is the LGBT try to distance themselves from that because it's too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll try to distance themselves. And a lot of the grunts, because this is compartmentalized too, a lot of the grunts in the LGBT, the little foot soldiers, they don't know a lot of the stuff that the management or the boss people in that organization are pushing. So they just do whatever they're told pretty much because they're easily swayed as sheep. So these individuals, yeah, they'll come against maps publicly, but privately and through these laws, they will give opportunities to them and the ones who are more low key about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and also let me read some of these comments because we're gonna shut it down in a few minutes. I'm trying to look. Y'all want if y'all want questions, let me know. Put it down. Let me see. That shows that called Mr. Pickles is crazy as hell. This dog is demonic, and people didn't know or what have you. Yeah, that came from the Shadow Assassin. Yes, that's facts. Stephanie Dawn Do said another comment that I had made want him to look at this gay white supremacist named Larry Brinken. You heard that name, right?
Not to my knowledge. If I have, it was a while ago. I probably
A
haven't
while
though.
ago.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look
she's
into it.
yeah, I'm gonna look into that too. Thank you, Stephanie Dudes. Let me see through the chat and stuff. The Shadow Assassin says, "Watch out for Adult Swimming on Cartoons Network. They blatant with that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I totally in agreement with that. That's what go back to
Hmm.
my point. Look, parents, parents. That's a sad thing to say. This your kids should not have no freedom. Period. Because they pushing every air. It's a sad thing, but they are every airwave that you imagine. And don't think that these so-called black, um, liberal or conservative programs they pushing it. They are in the mix too. They are pushing it too.
Yeah, some of the biggest offenders of that stuff with the kids and the cartoons and shit are Cartoon Network, the Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon. Those are the big three with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Black Star Sports TV. Oh yeah. Let me get there before I get to your go, Professor. Black Star TV. If they say who looks familiar. And last week he been on past panel, and plus he was on the panel the underrated boxing talk this past Saturday. That's where you see him. And I'm going to have another. I'm going to have another. The underrated boxing talk too. That's this Saturday, 6 o'clock p.m. That's where you're gonna see Black Star, and also he gonna be on other panels too that talks about the stuff, the other stuff too. Okay, go Professor. Oh, thanks again, go Professor for the super chat. He says, "How does homosexuality from slavery applies to today?"
Oh boy, that's a whole can of worms right there. And salute to the people donating and liking and sharing the video. But, support your interests. But with that piece, we know there was a lot of rape, a lot of molestation, a lot of abuse going on these plantations to black
Hmm.
men, women, and children.
Right.
We know this. And oftentimes the black male aspect is not talked about. But
Yeah.
this type of stuff has a carryover. I'll give you one example or one part of that, then the other part. One part is in Jamaica, for example, where they had a lot of these buck breaking farms and whatnot. And on these buck breaking farms, they would rape the strongest and most rebellious black men and all this shit, try to get them docile. Because when you do that to a man, you pretty much make him a punk or you make him weak. And that's why homosexuals, and you can only name one that tried to fight white supremacy, which is James Baldwin. Most of them don't fight white supremacy because it's their benefactor, it's their chief
Hmm.
deity, so to speak. So with this sexual thing, you see that where Jamaicans have a deep hatred for the Batiman because
Hmm.
they were raped on plantations by
Hmm.
Batimen who were white, and they got
Hmm.
turned into that, and they see that as an extension of white supremacy. Now you go to
Hmm.
places like Baltimore, where you had sex farms on the like slave sex farms where people were
It,
getting all types of molested and raped.
incest,
You
like
had,
incest and
yeah,
all that.
exactly, yeah, you got that to this day. You got
Mm-hmm.
weird sexual shit coming out of that city and other places where this stuff happened, like the Carolinas and other places. So you see a lot
Mm-hmm.
of bussy activity because when you have a bunch of broken people, they create more broken people. And
Mm-hmm.
homosexuality is a form of being broken. You understand me? A lot of people ain't going to agree with that, but it is what it is. Look at the historical context. So slavery had a big thing to do with why we act the way that we do because
Right.
we never got healed. Prior to that, the amount of gay people in black society or black cultures across the world was minimal to none. But when we encountered that white man, he put that shit on us because that's in his culture. You feel me?
Yeah, and also go more to your point. We have to understand too. This is like when I very first started my channel. This back, I believe, 2015 or in 2014, something like that. But I did a white supremacy. The white woman is a co-conspirators of white supremacy, and I was talking about. I think I was talking about I was talking about the culture part or whatever. But anyway, but go more to the point what the brother is saying. You are actually have white women was raping little girls. There was white women was raping little boys, you know, and so all this is really going on and everything. And also there was like part a lot of one-on-one incest was really going on both sexes that at times that up in slavery, even right now that we don't want to talk about. That's why like what brother Shango was talking about. That's why you see a collective of hundreds of flags, or like he was saying before, they are creating every day. They are hundreds of flags. I remember I was on his one of his lives 2 months ago. It was so much flags that this brother was showing that it was ridiculous. And we talking about few months ago. And then all right, like I say before, they are creating more, and they are putting these flags on the low on these airwaves late at night. But they're not gonna put the truth out there. They probably say, "Oh, this a nice flag." They probably say, "Well, if you like this color of dress, you want to what about color pants?" But see, this is their own way to draw you in. So that's why these kids cannot have the luxury to be by themselves. They don't have the luxury. You cannot give them that. Now they're gonna hate. They're gonna say, "I hate you with this and that," but you gotta protect it because it's everywhere now. You can, like I said, like these chaperones. I'm gonna talk more about these chaperones. I'm saying like this: if they say, "Oh yeah, this person gonna take me," I'll bring them to the door. If they willing to come to the door, they straight up. If that chaperone say, "Oh yeah, I'm busy. Could you take them to this certain spot?" No, because you know what they all about. See, you gotta listen. See, you gotta know the signs, family. You gotta listen to it. You cannot trust your child or your legal guardian or your honor or your niece and nephew and stuff like that. You can't trust them. They are using this to hurt our kids and even hurt our grown-ups too. You gotta be real careful. Even certain house parties that is going on and stuff. You gotta listen. You gotta listen to the music. You gotta
Yeah.
pay attention to the food that they make because you don't know what they put in because they put in the food and the drink.
Hmm.
You gotta we a lot of the first few of us we we kept playing catch up. But these are the things you better know. I'm telling you, everything what I underrated is telling you, I seen it. There are things in Virginia right now. They trying, oh, this whole country and this stuff. I see, oh, yo, man, you want to come to the picnic? Nah, I ain't coming to pick. Why? You see the flag? You ain't see the flag, did you, huh? Oh, no, I'm not going in that. No, no, no. Mm-mm. No, it's a trap. But they set sudden traps that it seems so innocent. But when you in that web, yeah, you can get out that web, but it could be so much damaging. That's what I'm saying. You gotta watch your kids. If your kids hate you, they just hate you. And your kids that you listen out there, that you're up in age, listen what the parents is telling you. When you do shopping and all like that, be careful where you're going. Because I said majority of them are pedophiles. They know what time you leave the house. They even know what time you take the bus. They even know what car you're driving. They even know where your friends is at and other family members at. Better listen. I'm trying to tell y'all. Better be on point. Cause they out here. So what you say about that, my brother?
I agree 100%, man. You got to understand that your children are seen as threats to the state and to the society. And if you produce heterosexual, uh, community, tradition minded, patriarchal black men and submissive black females that submit to those men, that's dangerous. So, what they do is they figure out ways to sabotage that process of making people, of making functional adults that are a reflection of their ancestors. They're trying to break that line, that lineage. And in order to do that fully, you have to get them to opt out of having children and families and relationships. And so these people will target your children because we're not even going to get into all the kids that have been ended up dead, missing, burnt, organ harvesting, sex traffic, all that shit. It's a whole industry around this stuff. And people don't know that your child could be that next one coming up with the Amber Alert. Yesterday, I just got two Amber Alerts on my phone. And they
Mm.
was in, I think they was in the black community. I got to check. I think it was on the south side of Chicago. I'm not 100% sure. I got to look it up again. But I know there have been people rolling up in the hood and just snatching little kids. You feel me? So y'all got to be careful. And a lot of them, guess what? They fly these flags, like Brother Underrated just said. So I agree with you 100%.
Brother Bukar, thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. Any questions that people want to ask, put it in the chat because in a few I'm shutting this down. Underrated had. Oh, I just had. I ate some Mike and Ike's, so I'm starving like a mother. But I want to stick it out. Again, anybody that is traveling safe, travel to your destination, or go or you're traveling back to your house. Let me know now in the chat. So I would, as long as you go on your way home, I stay on. But if y'all stop here and there, just keep me posted. All right. All right. So let me know right now. Yeah, go Professor. Unfortunately, Kwayu Bobby Charles didn't receive an Amber Alert. That's so facts. Facts on that. Right on time, go Professor. You absolutely right. Sure didn't. Sure didn't.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And that's a shame too. What happened to that brother? And every time I look at that picture, I remember Information Man did a story on that. He put the picture of oh man, what's his name? Oh man, back in what that boy's name?
Emmett Till.
Emmett Till and the other brother. It's not almost it's the same,
Yeah,
but 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 the story's the same.
pretty much.
And that's
And
going
look,
that almost 60 years ago.
and it's still happening to this day. The Atlanta child murders, all this stuff.
If it is like again, if y'all want to donate, it's Cash App, $ capital JT 53000. Also PayPal.me All in caps, JT Black 53. It's just sad, bro. And again, and again, and again. Let me say this: there are man pacifiers out there. Yes, pay attention to them, but also pay attention to these women pacifiers, y'all, because they disguising very well. Some of them are dressed as men too. Keep an eye on that. Had these conversations on that too. So I see everybody have, they asking, I mean, they ask some questions. Um and I guess that's it, brother. Make your last remarks and stay there. So I make my last remarks. Last remarks, please.
Yeah, pretty much. Y'all look over this video, look over the other stuff, the other links and the information that we posted that the brother JT so graciously put in the chat. And keep abreast, man. Keep your head on the swivel. Don't let these people run game on you. Don't let these people punk you into doing stuff that you don't want to do. This is your life, man. Those are your kids. That's your legacy. Guard it with your best of your ability. Guard it with all your faculties in order. You know what I mean? That stuff is more priceless than gold and gems. Your integrity, your manhood, your femininity. I don't know why I said it like that. Your femininity,
Mm-hmm.
your womanhood. Guard
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, man, because these people are trying to assault it. And it's getting to the point where they're trying to redefine what it means to be a person, like a
Mm-hmm.
human being. So really, really understand this stuff. It ties into transhumanism, all this other shit. Keep abreast of this stuff, man. Stay educating yourself, stay resisting this stuff. Whenever it comes to your school board, resist it. Whenever it comes to a politician trying to run, resist that person. Fuck that. We don't need this. That's all I gotta say. Salute. Thanks for
Okay.
having me.
Yeah, stay right there. Glad to have you here. Let me read this, and then I'll make my last remarks. Go Professor says, but yet the emphasis on protection is far from the level it should for black boys in comparison to black girls. Um.
Yep.
So you want to say something about that?
I agree 100% because in the black community, we do not value black men nor black boys, and we see
Hmm.
them as commodities like ConcuSurf, as Dr. T. Hassan Johnson talks about. And
Yes.
yeah, that's a big problem. You got to change that. How are you going to have leaders and people who fight the pedophiles in the future if they're all raped, if all the boys have been bussified? How does that make sense? Black women, y'all got to stand up, man, really wisen up and submit to the men that, that are in
Mm,
your life that are worthy. You feel me? And no, don't get it twisted. Not your worthy, but the actual objective worthy. You feel me?
yeah.
You know, you got to
But you
protect the boys.
gotta put the boards on. You know what? And I'm thinking about doing another special men's talk.
If I'm free, I'm
Um,
finna slide through on that one.
yeah, I'm gonna let you know. No, I got a plan for that one. I got a plan for that one. And I'm just, yeah. Yeah, please do. All right, Stephanie. Oh yeah. I'll let you, so keep me, but Stephanie, let me, are you subscribed to me? If not, please do. Matter of fact, yeah, because this is an issue that we gotta talk about, brother. And I'm gonna say this too. There's brothers even on social, even, and I'm saying that. Oh, you are. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And I'm gonna say this too. They quite few brothers are content creators refuse to talk about this too, brother Shango.
Facts.
They refuse to talk about, and I'm calling you out too. Now, I'm going to bring up what happened to me, and I'll make my last remarks. Maybe you didn't hear, brother Shango. This is true. When I was 11, I got raped of a woman. When I was 11 years old, Now, people's gonna be sound like a shocker. Yes, it was. Yes, I was. God did got raped. I'm trying to find out that I trying to fight for justice in my own way. For years. Yes, I did. I had talk about it on my channel. So people, you go deep into it. I had talk about it on my channel. Go Professor. I said a little stuff about it too, and I got clowned at. There are people say, "You sure you ain't lie about it? You a little boy. You. How do you let that happen to you?"
Wait. Who said that? On YouTube they said that?
This has actually happened when I was when it happened to me when I was
Oh, okay.
younger.
I was about to
Oh,
say,
shoot. Oh, shoot. On YouTube, they say you. One time they said, "Oh, what? You sure it happened?" Yeah.
bro, whoever said that is a punk, bro. I swear to God, on me, shorty. That you a scum. If you whatever. My bad,
And
bro.
then check it out. And there's actually men be saying, "Oh, what do you done?" They laughed about it.
That's disgusting. Then you wonder why black people don't have shit because of fuck niggas like that. That shit burns.
But these,
Let me
but
mute.
these, but check it out. But these are the ones that they say they masculinity. They masculine, brother.
That's some bull, man. That's some bullshit. That's some
Yeah.
big bullshit.
Yes. So why do you think that's why I told people what that's why you don't think that's why you don't find brothers don't say nothing about it because where the protection is at when you don't have the average black man don't protect you. I ain't worried about women because there are some women they gone anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's why like one of the reasons Shango I brought you I want you to talk about this because this is deeper, y'all. We dealing with demons here. These people are practicing demons. They practice satanic worship.
Yeah, man. That's the only thing you can be is some kind of twisted, dark individual.
And please don't say, "Oh, I know what you do." Yo, no, there's a path. You've been doing this for a long time. But I always say this: the righteous will prevail. The righteous will prevail. Just like the gold professor said this morning, the black man is not lazy. We never be lazy. And my last remark is I want to thank you, Shango. You had touched on a whole lot that we really gotta um pay attention to it. And the black man, the black woman, we cannot overanalyze it. We cannot make no excuses. We cannot ask no questions on it. It's happening. We gotta see where we is. And just like the gold professor said, I got to say this again. We got to do a much more better job to protect our boys. We ain't saying we ain't gonna protect the little girls because we are, but we got to pay more attention to protect these little boys and trust and believe. Majority of them for the last years and also of these go. I'm talking about in decades is women. And that's the conversation that highly our people do not want to talk about it. But I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to keep on bringing it up. So I urge black men and black women that has because our content creators, when you're going to have these conversations, women molesting little boys. And the other stuff that Brother Shango is talking about, and even people in the chat is talking about. When you're going to bring it up, because the underrated one, I'm going to keep on bringing it up, and I know there are some content creators do bring it up too. So I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm talking about the ones that is not that refuse to. But I'm gonna keep on bringing it up. Or I'm just saying, man, watch out for these the hundreds of flags that deal with homosexuality, that deals with satanic worship, deal with animals and all that. And also watch. And I'm gonna tell you one thing too. Watch out for these fools too, because sometimes they force their animals having sex with your sons and daughters. Huh? In homes, in parks, parking lots, isolation places. Better watch out, y'all. Better get your grind up. Telling y'all. Cause it's happening even right now. So on behalf, CDR. Yeah, it happens all the time. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Oh yes, Stephanie does. Yes, I'm gonna do a special man. I don't know. It's gonna be probably be this week. I'm gonna do a special men's talk, and what we're gonna talk about protection of young brothers and young men. And I am gonna bring up women. Not some women refuse to protect little boys and young men. Yes, I'm gonna bring it up. Yes, I am. So Stephanie Doll, thanks for your encouragement. I will talk about it, and I'm gonna bring back one few ones that I'm gonna hand pick it. I'm gonna hand pick the panel because I don't want to overanalyze it. No, I don't want that. So I'm gonna hand pick it. So the two I picked so far is Brother Shango and Gold Professor. And then I'm going to add on what I want. So thank you again, Brother Shango. I very much appreciate. Thanks for coming to our channel. Appreciate
No
that.
doubt, bro. No doubt.
It's
Always.
okay. Okay, stay right there. Behalf of my channel. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I will have the underrated boxing talk Saturday, 6 o'clock. And also I just talk about the special men's talk. God's willing, I will have that, but I got to plan it. I got to plan it. And it's going to be all the discussions that we talk about. It also is going to be a discussion that I did a man's live about that. I want y'all to go check that out. And also it's going to be about what Go Professor talked about. Black man talked about us as black men. We are not lazy. That's going to be all, and even what me and Brother Shango was talking about too. This going to be a castle of all that. So I would advise y'all when I set it up. Listen what Go Professor what he's talking about. When I did the live earlier, it was a continuation of that. And also what me and Shango talk about, it's going to be a castle. So I'm saying like this, y'all got enough information to hear. Okay, so most likely if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be towards the weekend. It's gonna be towards the weekend. I'll probably look at Friday. I don't know about Saturday. I don't know because I got things I gotta do, but I don't know. It could be Saturday. It can. But I'm looking at Friday or Sunday. I'm looking at Friday or Sunday, but if it's going to be Saturday, it's going to be early. Right now, if it's going to be Saturday, it's going to be early. Because I do want to rest up to do the underrated boxing talk. That's 6 o'clock. I definitely gonna rate. If I go do, I want to rest up for that. But just watch out for it. But I'm just saying, listen for Go Professor today. That's what I'm saying. Go to his channel today. I want you to listen to that. Then what I did earlier, and also what we did. This gonna be a castle, so I urge y'all to be more astute to what's going on. Okay. So on behalf of my channel, the underrated darkness, yours truly, Thank you, Brother Shango, for showing up. Thank you so much. Again, on behalf of my channel, the underrated daughters, the underrated one, the number one greater. Thank y'all for everything. Love y'all. Wherever you do, get home safe. And just understand we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. Let's protect our children. Let's protect each other because Satan and his Pharisees, they on it. And the sad thing about it, they winning. Let's limit down. Let the righteousness prevail. On that, this one is Ghost.